Greetings all. Today is March 6th, and you are tuned into Context Matters with your host, Isaac Buchanan. Welcome to the live stream. If you're tuned in on Reggae Global Radio, I want to say a special welcome to you. I want to also say that we are in March. And what is significant about being in March is they always say, beware of the Ides of March. Those who are in power ought to be aware of the political realities and deal with it accordingly. What do I mean by that? Well, it is only fitting that the conversation that we speak about today is just that Duppy story versus the simple truth. There are all over the world, the media plays a critical role in disseminating information. For those who don't know, the dissemination and the receiving of information coupled with freedom of expression are constitutional rights. You have the ability and the right to listen to whoever you want to listen to, process information. What happens though when it comes to, we have the Broadcasting Commission, which regulates the space, the radio and broadcasting. Then you have media, which includes social media and YouTube, respectively, where freedom of expression reigns supreme. What has happened is that where life, which is the truth and the reality, it sometimes imitate the art form or the art form imitates life. And it is in that context that we're going to have the discussion because many things are happening, and while it is happening, there are persons who are of the view that when it comes to matters of freedom of expression, persons persons must kind of find their way in terms of persons must find their their I'm trying to use the right words. Persons Public officials. Good afternoon. Just let me make this point, and then I'm going to acknowledge those who have joined me today, and we have the conversation. But persons who put themselves up for political office, it includes myself, as you are aware. I am the candidate for Portland Eastern in Jamaica. Um, that's in the parish of Portland for those who don't know. Um, why am I saying this? You put yourself up for public office, and worse if you are a public official. The idea that you would pretty much run out to your attorney and seek to sue somebody for defamation where, as a public official, is laughable. Defamation of character. And yes, there are, first of all, you don't sue men of straw. That's the first thing. So one of the serious realities of civil litigation is that it becomes a waste of time to sue men of straw unless you have an intention to enforce a judgment by the court, and in lieu of payment of that judgment, the person goes to prison. So some persons are very vindictive like that. But I can say this, especially in a politically hot year, um, there are persons, I've seen it. The most recent, the last two would have been the MP and candidate, well, the MP for West Portland, Darrell Vaz, attempting to sue Andre Stevens. Similarly, there is the government minister or the MP for, I want to say, Tivoli Gardens, something like Desmond McKenzie, who says he's suing Damian Crawford. Um, and I guess his lawyer wrote to Damian. The reality is this. One, you must first have character for it to be defamed. I find it almost laughable when a politician gets up and says that they have character and reputation, especially if you're a government minister in a corrupt government and it's clear that the government is corrupt. Corruption is rampant in that, and many other things, and persons have to try to sieve their way out of it. The problem with it though is why this program is called Context Matters is it has become apparent. It is clear that although Jamaica is an English speaking country, as in we were colonized by um, the British, and then they gave us the language, English language, after their war with the Spaniards. So we don't speak Spanish, we speak English. What happens is even persons who graduate from the greatest university in the Caribbean, the University of the West Indies, have very little understanding and command of the English language. They lack the competence and the ability or capacity to appreciate literature. So one of the biggest struggles in the Jamaican space is expression. um, the serious or seminal issue when we're speaking about expression is the fact that people will hear something but cannot comprehend it. And that's why on Context Matters and the persons who usually tune in, we talk about critical thinking always, because there is logic that follows with language. So the English language, which is a complicated language, with the present tense, the future tense, the past tense, past participles, um, and coupled with literature, which deals with personification, metaphors, similes. All of these things combined makes up the language. And also, spelling is important. Nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, yes, pronouns. These are all important when interpreting language. It is also usually the downfall of many when they set out to interpret law or even draft legislation. They put language that they don't even understand, and they go into a cut and paste mechanism. So it's very difficult to appreciate how legislators and lawmakers who don't can't read, let alone comprehend, let alone have the ability to even contemplate the what ifs when it comes to the law, to then hear a citizen or an opponent speak on matters and use the English language in such a way that the clear words coming from the person's mouth, like, do you understand the words that's coming out of my mouth? Hola, buenos dias. Anyway, that is of importance. Somebody says Starlink. I'm wondering if they're saying my internet isn't working. Anyway, the what I'm trying to get at in this is to say that, let me address the Desmond. If somebody says, and I'm using case law, the case law is Tuberville and Savage. And so this is in relation to a threat. And when it comes to threat, you must apprehend fear. So it's an assault, assault by threat. An assault means not a battery. So not in Jamaica, assault and battery, they call it assault and assault occasion in body harm and all of that. So if somebody is going to threaten you, the threat must be immediate. And I want people to appreciate this. And the language is important. So if somebody says that if it were not for today being March 6th, I would call you a liar or expose you for being a thief. It simply means that the word if and the language that says we're not for today being, and the interpretation would mean that there is no threat. Because when you look at it in its fulcrum, you assess the situation by saying, well, today is March 6th, and therefore the threat to expose is not immediate and nothing flows from it. So it is, and the case is Tuberville and Savage. You can Google it; it will show you that the police couldn't. You when you make the complaint, the police can't do anything because it's not a threat. There's nothing to warn you because it's the language in and of itself cannot be threat or be hazardous to you because the conditions aren't met for that threat to be made out. So it is where if somebody says, if money is missing, this person take it. There's many things would have to come to the limelight or the forefront. One, money has to be missing, and missing meaning stolen, and the person would have to present the evidence that they didn't take it, and it has to be believable that the person take it. And if like if I were the president of the United States, would I be just like Trump and deport everybody? Yeah, see, it's a if, and the if is stipulations and conditions for the reality to be met. So, in the absence of someone appreciating the if, or even if persons is saying, well, you said it with the intention to harm me, the English language is the English language. So, an interpretation of that, which is probably one of the reasons why it's so good but you know what? I'm not even going to try to um let me not downplay it. The judges that sit in the court of appeal and in the courts in Jamaica, they understand language. It's the one place that you can be happy to know that Duns people not reigning free, and there at a minimum there's a requirement that you meet the education standard threshold, and many of them are uicated. Majority of the attorneys are uicated. So fret not thyself. Attorneys become lawyers, and lawyers become judges. So at least there is a class of people that have competence above and beyond. So the language still though is something that is important to any profession, and if you are going to be engaging in the running around saying you're educated and running around professing that you have degrees and other people don't, ensure that at a minimum you command the English language. Ensure that at a minimum you also command sufficiently patois, because you're going to engage with people who don't speak English language, and the Jamaican language is one that you have to understand. Otherwise, you're going to be offended by things that you ought not to be offended about. And then I don't see how you can profess to be a representative of the people and profess to be somebody who is prepared to advocate for people and be sensitive. You must have rhinoceros skin, and your back must be broad. You must be prepared to take the criticisms even when they are not constructive. You must be able to appreciate that opinions are like nose holes. Everybody have one, unless you don't have a nose, and then um, inquiries can be made. So I'm just putting that out there, that in don't believe in Duppy stories, and don't believe in persons who cry victimizations when they are the ones that are the aggressors and they're the ones who victimize people. For instance, the same Desmond Mackenzie, I'm only speaking of him because I did not know when he became competent in matters of English language and in matters of anything relating to education to come to the front and make statements about the leader of opposition and his reality of being a white person when it's actually in somebody says, Mr. I said, I need to focus on the nose holes. Behave yourself walking in divine purpose. When it is that in the past, he was beaten, these are his words, by his leader who was a white man. So I don't know if he's suffering from post traumatic beaten by a white person disorder that he now gets up in an angry rage to say that never will he give up the reins of power again to a white man because he was beaten by a white man. Now, for those of us who are not suffering from post-traumatic slave disorder and battered white man syndrome beaten by I don't know if we can coin the term the Desmond Mackenzie beaten by the former Prime Minister, the Honorable Edward Seaga syndrome. But the good thing about it is you got beaten and you now hold the seat. So you're beaten and your licks were not in vain. I don't know. I mean, this is the party that has George Wright. So they're used to accepting being beaten, yes, whether you're a male or female. And it's a prerequisite to either remain as the victim and eventually become the victor. So it's a matter for you, but one has to look in terms of the realities. Who is saying what and what platforms allows the vitriol to be disseminated and received by the people without proper context? Because people are allowed to say anything. And the important thing is that when it is that you have a platform, you are to always make effort to put things in context. Because, you know, I think it's called Stockholm syndrome, where you, but I wouldn't even call it that because, you know, an educated man, a confident man, a man who is not compromised, and man must be used also for woman in this situation. We're talking about the human race. So let me put it this way: male or female, man or woman, when you are educated, when you are uneducated, does not necessarily mean formal education. We're talking about competence. When you're confident, when you are when you exhibit and exude love for self, when you have learned how to love yourself, when you have an internal locus of control, when you have the ability to not be compromised. So you have accountability, you have transparency, and you're not easily offended by words, whether it is true or not. Because it is when once you have overcome the noise, then you won't have to participate in trying to bring down, destroy people who the reality is oftentimes insignificant. So I'm just addressing that to say that I'm using my platform to educate people and empower people to not allow persons to use words, use platform, use money to disenfranchise the people around you. Because you see, if the people around you are disenfranchised, then guess what happens? Tomorrow, the same people who you allowed and by omission to disenfranchise the least among you will come back and disenfranchise you. So there are people who, it don't matter how much money you have, you'll never be a part of the elite. The elite will take your money, but they'll never, and they'll laugh with you. Just ask P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever he is these days. He is When they can discard you, you will be discarded. Um, and I'm not gonna say ask bold because I've never, in my observation of who is poised to be or could be a national hero for his contribution to sports alone, I've never seen him trying to fit into um, the Joneses, because he would have far exceeded all that is in the Jamaican space and just is one of the very few people who can be himself. So I don't. I'm, and I can't speak for him, but I don't know him. So I don't think people can say he never fits in, because he's way greater than the animal farm that takes place in the Jamaican space. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Again, it's freedom of expression. So big up to a Bolt, and he should continue to elevate and hover above the fray, because that is what is important. And there's also a reality that um, there's absolutely no need to fit in to a society that is developing, a society that give accolades to the people that they like, and it's not one of merit. I don't make these things up. They just recently in the news, again, the news paints the picture. Whether it is accurate or not is another question, but I think it is the fire brigade was looking for, I guess, a new, some HR issue, a job issue. But person A, applicant A, was qualified, passed the test, and recommended. And applicant B was a big dunce, but was working with the institution previously. And notwithstanding that they knew that applicant B was a big dunce, they put him in the acting role, or her, I don't know, and ignored the fact that applicant A was far superior. That's nepotism. And also an understanding that if people cannot control you, and people are being placed to disrupt a system that is corrupt, disrupt a system that requires accountability, disrupt a system that requires capacity, then they will always go for the least among them, because then they can control them. When it is that you're not lacking anything, people will have a problem with you. So that is what happens in a society that is developing, and they want to keep their friends in spaces so that they can continue to disenfranchise people. The vision for any country should be that all its citizens are so advanced that the world, any country in the world, would want to accept them, the least among them. In other words, as you develop your country and you think about the people, you develop your country with a view to ensure that there are no visa restrictions, so that one day you can stand at a podium as a prime minister, as a member of parliament, and when the people curse and not now go on, you say nothing wrong with your hand and foot. We have our country is doing so well that you can take up yourself and go anywhere in the world and represent for this little island of Jamaica that have so much powerful people, beautiful people. And if that is not your vision, rather than switching the narrative, here's the narrative. I have no problem with people using percentages and being happy to say that there is a concerted effort to keep the murder rate down. And we have 47 murders this year. But the numbers are numbers and life is life. So if you kill 56 people that you refer to as criminals, violence contributors, gunmen, and you say all 56 of them were killed in a shootout, or they're still Jamaicans and they still have life, and you simply add the 47 that you said they murdered, it's probably 50 now, because in the last 3 days in Portland, Eastern, persons were murdered by gun. This is an anomaly. It should be rejected. as the MP candidate, I will speak out because I am able to do so, and say that don't bring that type of oompy scoopy negative behavior, and don't run away from the hot spaces because the police are trained to gun down badman and gunman and come into the Portland space, which is a non-violent space, and try to murder people and run up crime there. It simply should be rejected, because murder anywhere in any form in Jamaica is to be rejected and should never happen. But we're not in the Moses days where it is an eye for an eye. And so we have to come to a place where conflict resolution is something that we have to take on. I'm not going to call it mediation. I'm going to talk about societal conflict. It is a form of restorative justice, but Jamaicans are too angry. And they're too angry because they're constantly being disenfranchised. Let me go back again about the context. The Prime Minister recently said that, and I'm paraphrasing, that the criminals will not live to benefit from their crime. But if criminals are not to benefit from their crimes, and the criminals aren't brought before before justice and convicted, then those accused of crimes by that logic are criminals and should not benefit from the alleged crimes that they commit. So is it that the Prime Minister is saying that he has allegedly been so corrupt and have robbed the cookie jar, and therefore is forfeiting his life because he is allegedly a corrupt official? His failure to have his statutory declaration certified, and the unlikely reality that it will never be certified, neither this year nor ever, and he has no intentions of certifying it. Is he saying that as a criminal, by virtue of his logic, he should lose his life and not benefit from the alleged criminality that he is being accused of? These are things, and I believe that as a citizen of the country, he too is cloaked in the presumptions of innocence and should receive the benefit of the Constitution, even if you sued and asked the court to strike down the Integrity Commission, and they say absolutely not. No judicial review for that. So let me just put it this way. If the Constitution remains the Don of all dons, then, bro, God, you're not a Don. And pronouncing and inciting the members of the JCF to murder citizens of this country, even as vile as they are, is not the answer. And to use the statistics to say that you're proud that the murder rate is 47 and give no regard to the 56 that were unalived by the police force is somewhat problematic. So there's a balance that has to be struck, but however the media puts it is of great importance. So here's what we are trying to end. We're trying to end disenfranchisement and corruption. Let me speak about corruption in Portland Eastern. Well, I would have been made aware that there's a ripe issue when it comes to the Blue Lagoon. Now, here's what you have to appreciate. In the Blue Lagoon, the type of tourism that takes place include rafting and going from the Blue Lagoon over to one of those island spots, and the rafters and the raft captains and the Blue Lagoon. Let's call them the Blue Lagoon Force, the men and women that make a living at the Blue Lagoon for years, years, to the point that the Prescription Act, and do this and beat me, there's nothing in law that will prevent the people of Jamaica to have access to the Blue Lagoon. It cannot be sold and it cannot be brought. And even if you purchase all the surrounding lands around it, you cannot stop the people from having access to the Blue Lagoon. There is also a road that is the parish council road, which neither the government nor the parish council can sell to private owners. It simply cannot be a private road because it belongs to the government. In other words, it belongs to the Jamaicans. The government are merely servants of the Jamaican people. So earlier this year, under the stewardship and leadership of a very competent attorney, Marcus Goff, sued the several agencies and including private owners in surrounding the Blue Lagoon and for the lack of access that and the suspension of the activities that is. Let me tell you, you have persons who are at the Blue Lagoon and they make $100,000 a day through the rafting and through the activities that is known, that is a part of the ecotourism. And they have stopped that. First, they were tricked because they were told that it was going to be renovated and that they're renovating the space and they're to move just some of the stuff, allegedly. Let me say allegedly. And the people thought that better was going to come. Well, they were pushed off. I'm going to say the land was sold, and I'm not taking issue with the land, but the road, because the community don't want to see the Negroes reigning free up and down the road because it disturbs the value of the villas that they have built there. And yeah, it's nice when you're wealthy and you're allowed to buy villas and stuff like that, and you're rich. So from the MP and her husband, and he's also an MP, and they have a villa, and the surrounding persons they have villas as well, and the rich people they bought up the surrounding lands leading to the Blue Lagoon. Well, let's put it this way: the case was struck out because a lack of service. What was clear from the judgment of the learned judge, parish court judge, was that the issues to be ventilated were not touched. They're simply a procedure. Oh, somebody said, who am I talking about? I'm talking about Anne Marie Vaz and her husband. One is the MP candidate, one is the member of parliament for East, that's Anne Marie Vaz, and MP candidate, an MP, member of parliament and minister of transport and technology and all of those things for the West. I'm talking about the Vaz. They have a villa that touch and concern what we're talking about on the stretch. That same parish court road that I'm telling you about is a seminal issue. Why am I raising it? Because, well, the first Duppy story that came out was from the mayor of Portland. And I don't need to be disrespectful to the mayor of Portland. We know he doesn't know math, but then he said he was drunk. Now, in that part, he says that Duppy story is being told about the Blue Lagoon because the people have access and there are lifeguards out there. Okay, and so any talk about denying access to the raft men and the activities that are the economical livelihood of citizens of Portland, Eastern, and Jamaica at large, the economic activities that put money in the pockets of the youths them in Portland have been stopped. But they said, no, but there is access. You can go there. It's lie them telling. They have access. But what about the economic activities? And when you say access, is it limited access or full access? And the concept of free access. But here's what. After that, we discard, because people can discard the mayor. The mayor is not too bright. I'm an educated man. I can tell you, I have authority to say when another man is not bright. Yeah. And cannot come and have conversations with me. Like seriously. Now, having said that, and do that and beat me, respond as you wish and bring your accolades and try match up. because I'm saying this respectfully. So you don't get to just um, you don't get to just get a position and hold a position and then suddenly it makes you bright. It doesn't. Those who work hard for their education in an effort to ensure that they are in a position to advocate truthfully, respectfully, and bring the change and protect the rights of the people so they're not disenfranchised. That is what it is about. Now, having said that, another article came out from Nationwide, and Nationwide is saying that listen, um, there is access to the Blue Lagoon, and you don't have to pay. You will not be charged. And so the people of Portland says, well, the people of Jamaica and the world at large says, but the people who brought the legal claim against the Blue Lagoon and the government and the parish council and everybody, them wickedy, why they being so mischievous? But the narrative does not make a clear pronouncement on the seminal issues and the conflict between the parties. That is, there is a security company, and neither through the access of information or neither through the parish council or anybody will say who paying the security guard to put up the barriers so that you cannot drive there as you like on a parish council road, a government road that belongs to everybody. Yes? Who? Just simply answer the question. Mayor of Portland, the mayor, Mr. Thompson, tell us who is paying the security company. Use your office and tell us who is paying the support. It is not sufficient to say you don't know because it is a parish council road. And if the mayor of Portland cannot answer that question, he should not be the mayor and he should resign. Because you must have accountability. You must have answers for the people because the people have taken you to court. I've taken the parish council to court. I've taken all the actors because the information is not forthcoming. So when a news agency who is responsible for proper reporting to report both sides and to give the Jamaican people the answers because it is a public interest matter, fail to do so, you are a part of the problem. You are pushing a PR narrative to disenfranchise people who have lost income and as a result are losing their human dignity and ability to fend for themselves, and then must depend on the very member of parliament who is selling water in Portland and must go to the office to beg. That kind of independence as a man is the most dehumanizing, emasculating exercise in a free and democratic society. That is the heights, respectfully, of corruption. Because no one wants to give answers to the people who say we want justice, who have responded and is being ignored, who were not questioned for their side of the story. So when you say you have access to the Blue Lagoon, tell us what access means. Because it's limited access because you can't drive down to the road. I know that I go there and you can't. The security guard will even say who hire him and who paying him. So as far as I'm concerned, the police should remove them because they're behaving like they're definitely not FBI and CIA, but I'm not going to respect them because they too have to earn a living, but not at the expense of the men and women who have been earning a living from that area. And for those who criticize them and say they're nuisance and they're everything that is bad, I reject that. Similarly, I'm going to again say this as the narrative is being painted because I saw a blogger who has no money, who is using a pseudonym, and I'm happy to say it's not Sir P. Big up yourself, Sir P, because you remain significant in the Jamaican culture. But for the bloggers who are out there, a blogger who just puts up randomly and say that Isaac Buchanan, is responsible for bringing crime to Portland Eastern is nonsense. But I won't say you're defaming me because you're too poor and too broke and pauperized and you're too extra enough and trying to paint a narrative that is not so. And I will say this, not one person on my opponent's team is as educated and accomplished as Isaac Buchanan. Not one. I'm an attorney at law that went to the Privy Council, the highest court in the land. Many lawyers have never been there. Do not mix up my name. My name has never been called. And do this and beat me. I have never been suspected of murder, rape, and my name not calling those things. And while people are very disrespectful, I can tell you this. My name as a MP candidate will never ever be called in things such as rape, Gaza and rape, and murder. Never, 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 never. But there are people walking around in Portland, East and West. Yeah? Them name calling rape, them name calling murder. Can't get me like that. So don't ever pass your place, but I will not sue you. Now let me take my platform and say this. Young men and women who don't make nobody destroy your life by paying you money, small amounts of money, to take the life of your brother and sister. Murder at any time, the unaliving of a citizen of Jamaica from anybody should be rejected. Life is something given to us without knowing we are to receive it. And as we go across and try to walk into our destiny, let no man that walk Jamaica or no woman that walk Jamaica facilitate, participate in the murder of a citizen of Jamaica. Don't bring it to Portland Eastern, and don't bring it while I am there. And when I go on the scene, I also reject anybody that tries to politicize the losing or loss of life anywhere in Jamaica. You don't show up on scene in party colors and try to score political points when people lose their life. That should be completely rejected anywhere in Jamaica. And to play on the emotions of the citizens is disenfranchisement. Stick to the issues. And there are serious issues. The government of Jamaica, the government of the day, which just happens to be the Jamaica Labour Party, is not qualified to continue running this country. Because while you encourage people to rub out their handmill, you are rubbing out all the cookie out of the cookie jar. And you are doing everything that is not moving Jamaica forward. And no matter how the media spins it, Jamaica has never been in such a bad state. And not in 2025 where we are in the future, the promised future. Yeah? And there's just too much thief that is walking around in suits and skirts and dresses and suits and opulence to be asking for a third term. There's simply too many of them. There are too many people who are disqualified. And you trick the people. When I heard the Minister of Security, who happens to be the chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party, saying that they're proposing that there should be a team debate on finance. A concession that Flavor Williams, who in my opinion is academically qualified, even more than Nigel, to be the finance minister for the Jamaica Labour Party. But you want a team debate because none of them can match up one-on-one, cannot match up against any member, any candidate of the People's National Party. You just can't do it. Because when you're bright, you're right. Yeah? You see when you're done, just show up for brunch. Because you can do eat, yam, sleep, and thief. Nothing else. Have no capacity to do nothing else. And it's a lack of integrity. It's a lack of probity. It is a lack of transparency and a lack of accountability. Yes? And this is very, 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 very important. I'm saying it. And then people can reject it. But you know, one thing they can say, they will never ever be able to say ISAT dunce and ISAT lack capacity. That would be the biggest lie. So they will come with other things which are also lies, and that's fine. Because no matter what you say, it cannot. Words cannot hurt me. But I bet you, when I say it, it have to hurt you. Because nothing hurts like the truth. So I'm going to leave that part of it alone. But to say, as I again reject crime and violence in the space of Portland Eastern, I'm starting there. Because as I said, that is where I'm the MP candidate and the next member of parliament. And what we are doing is restoring the economy. And to do so, we are bringing the heat. And we are having a public forum where my special guest is the Prime Minister of St. Vincent, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, the Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, who has previously been on this show, Context Matters. And as you can see, very few persons have been interviewed on this platform. And there's a reason for that. You have to come with proper context to make this show. So make no mistake. Don't think it's guests I don't have. It's guests that are worthy that must be able to come on this show. So me not frightened over guests because me, they used to say I'm an ugly dude. But let me tell you something. I'm a real, 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 real opulent dude. Yeah, you understand? Girls all over the world want to up me. That's the life of a city boy. But anyway, I just want people to appreciate that bringing the heat. You know what that means? Conversations on health and solutions thereof. Conversations on education, and you know I'm very passionate about that. Conversations and solution thereof, agriculture, as well as tourism. Now, people gonna say what? I'm glad how people understand context. Andreen Wells said, Burner Boy, you know the song, City Boy. All right. So you put it in context. Big up yourself. Now, we must now think about or talk about when we say bringing the heat and the core focus, health, education, agriculture, and tourism. I'm gonna tell you something. If you haven't figured out by now that tourism in Jamaica includes entertainment, entertainment is the biggest tourism driver in Jamaica. And entertainment don't just mean the artists, them, the dancehall artists and the reggae artists, them. We're talking about the arts. Yeah? We're talking about our culture. We're talking about our rich heritage. We're talking about the ability. And we're talking about the human commodity that is Jamaicans. You think it's by chance you see the woman them from Europe or come way from Germany for come down to Portland Eastern and all over Jamaica for the youths? You think it's by chance you see people fly all over the world to come to Jamaica for the women? Let's be for real. You think it's by chance? Because there is greatness in every single Jamaican. And while I've seen it before, you might be here wiping window and people saying they need to move the window wipers, they're nuisances, but they're making an honest living though. And ironically, the government puts them in persons who are employed. So no wonder how when they end up going to foreign, big foreign, they become instantly living a better life than hard-working Jamaicans. It says that is something that is wrong with the society, not the people. Something wrong with governance, not the people. And that is what you're voting for. So there's nothing wrong with political loyalty, you know. But here's what I'm going to say to you. If your party has failed you, don't go out there and vote. If the government has failed you, do not go out there and vote. And that's the thing about it, because we can look at statistics and we can talk. And I see people talk about Mark Golding and the leader of opposition. He's a leader of opposition. He hasn't been up to bat yet. He hasn't been given the opportunity to walk into his greatness as a son of Jamaica, to contribute like his father did. So there's no comparison. You have a prime minister that failed at what he has done. One whole heap of empty promises. And a disbelief that road and water is all you can give to the people is utter nonsense. Don't involve me as a member, as an MP candidate. Don't involve me, because as a member of the People's National Party and the candidate for Portland Eastern, you cannot campaign on road and water. It is your right, taxpayers' money. Yeah, government is not spending them money. And you have to watch it when they announce these big lavish spending, and the quality of road that they put down is not good. Third rate, fourth class road. The money, there must be accountability for the money. So all I can tell you, history is a beautiful thing. When the former Prime Minister, the Honorable Edward Seaga, had Jamaica for 9 years, he never saw it again in his lifetime. So shall it be that the current Prime Minister too has had Jamaica for 9 years. You will never see it again in your lifetime. What you ought to be worried about is whether or not, when you and your cronies are finished, if you're going to find yourself in a prison cell. And fret not thyself, because we will have serious conversations about rehabilitation, which I am qualified to tell you about. As a youth offender who have gone through rehabilitation, the starting point is you must make amends for your conduct. So Mr. George Wright, saw you. I must commend you. You were able to put some words together in your limited capacity as a human being and clearly uneducated. But I can tell you, you swing a chair much more confident and greater than you can put your words together in relation to advocacy. And so, until you have made amends and find proper rehabilitation, yeah, you're disqualified. And anybody, at least I can say Dalrymple plead guilty. She hasn't done any rehabilitation, but she plead guilty to taking the taxpayers' money and giving her sister for buy Benz. Yeah, she did it. All those things. We must not pretend that these things didn't happen. Now I'm talking about it. Yeah? And so this is the Duppy story that I'm telling you about. And everything I said is the simple truth. And there's no narrative that can be spun to change the truth. So this campaign to trick the people. You have the country for 9 years. And everything that you're supposed to do, you want to do it in the next few months, so that you can go back to disenfranchise the people. It has to be rejected. And I'm speaking on that as a citizen of this country. The constant making it difficult for Jamaicans to be independent, financial independent, has to be rejected. Empty promises cannot nyam. And let me tell you something, road right across Jamaica, fix them. I would never deter any government to not do what they are supposed to do. So I welcome that. I welcome that. Let's clap the Prime Minister. He's finally fixing the road in the last couple of months. Let's commend him for giving away the money that they sold the rights to Norman Manley International Airport, and take the money and give it away in tax breaks. And I hear there's some $50,000 tax breaks coming for the 3 million threshold. Let's clap them because you're supposed to do that. That are not no campaign tactics. That is not a tool in your goodie bags. No, it is not. Because you did have to do it. Me, I tell you that. Just like you can't call state of emergency, come beat you in a court. Me, do that. You and your whole legal team, no sense. I said it. Yeah. And if you call it, it can't last. That's the truth. And I'm speaking on that. And I can flex my legal and constitutional muscle because you simply don't have the competence around you to respond to that. I recall when you had an attorney general who said that, oh, it's not a Rastafarian and those people, you think only Rastas can go to school with dreads. Yeah? And you swear that you swear that you had a victory. And you lose to that. One more constitutional matter, you lose to me. Do that and beat me. So when it comes to protecting the rights of Jamaican people and ensuring that they're not disenfranchised, like an attempt to disenfranchise even me, billions of dollars spent on a constitutional reform to write a provision that Isaac Buchanan is not allowed to sit in Gordon House. Worried about me before I even thought of being a candidate. Yeah? So the resources spent on trying to destroy ordinary Jamaicans has to be rejected. Tricking people into saying that you're giving them homes when it is not clear whether or not the homes belong to them. And if somebody is indigent and you give them something, a fee simple estate means you have the full right to transfer your interests to the generations that follow. You do not bring people out of poverty if you don't give them the freedom to own land sufficiently that they can transfer to the next generation, their sons and their daughters. You're not breaking the poverty cycle. You're not providing them with that. So Desmond McKenzie, shame on you. Yeah? And this thing where we just put paint and put lines in roads, or when the roads dig up and you're patching. Patching is not fixing. So road solutions are something that we're supposed to talk about. So while it is that people is saying, yeah, road and water, you have provided, and let me talk about Portland Eastern one more time, you have provided no housing solutions. The Member of Parliament, Anne-Marie Vaz, has provided no housing solutions in the last 5 years. Not one person moved into a new house made by the government. So trick the people because it is what happens to the mental to people is similar to what happened in COVID. You get locked down and then they announce lifting of the restrictions for this amount of time. And they extend the hours and your freedom is taken away and then they give you back a little bit and you feel like it's better, but it is worse. And as a 46-year-old man that was raised in Jamaica, a son of Jamaica, there were times when Jamaica was beautiful. Even poor people were not suffering, and they had all the time in the world to strive and survive in this country called Jamaica. There's famine on the line right now. Yeah? So you see all this social media business about, oh, look at me, I'm on a roller. I'm on a steamroller and road. No, that is not improving the lives of the people. And yes, the people need road. And yes, the people need water. But the people need access and opportunity. Yes, I'm 46. So when people come and try size up and try to be disrespectful, I'm a grown man, independent, and not begging nobody nothing. And have chosen to represent people knowing that me not got thief, Me not going to disenfranchise and not going to take from the people of Jamaica. The government cannot say that. They cannot make that statement and it be a truthful statement. And I will adopt the words of the leader of opposition. Anybody on my side that have intentions to do that, him leave. Because what the same media doesn't say is that the cadre of candidates in the People's National Party, majority of whom are new and have never been a part of governance before, is bringing to Jamaica transparency, integrity, accountability, honesty, and probity. Yeah? So you can say anything you want with ad hominem, but you must speak the truth. And anything said other than what I just said is Duppy story. So, of course, when debates come and I have to do it in groups, because many of you can't stand up to ad hominem. Many of you cannot stand up on individual integrity. Many of you cannot stand up on individual capacity. Many of you can't stand up weak, jellyback, like Desmond get beat by Eddie Siaga. Yeah, and stay around long enough. Your legacy in life will be that you get beat for your seat and I come and run off your mouth. Yeah. You can go to your lawyer too and say, I'm defaming you for speaking the truth on that. You said it. When Edward Siaga beat you, you ball. Ball out! Say it right. But Portmore is a 15 parish. Just ask Patrick City. Who is feeling for some Bailey's rum cream in Patrick City? Did I say that too long? Oh boy. Don't mix up Tyler Perry with Terry. Yeah. Anyway, Portmore. Same so we do it to Portmore. Just repeating what was said by the good pastor. Ball out! Take down the cockroach. Anyway, yeah. So that is the case I'm bringing. Duppy story versus the simple truth. Duppy story versus the simple truth. Yes. So we have actually come to the commercial break, you know. I'm glad we take it real quick. Reggae Global.
It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
All right, so that was the time signal from Reggae Global Radio. The break. It's now 6:05, and you're listening to Context Matters Live. Welcome to the live. If you're here on TikTok, tap up the screen, share the live. Shout out to Lexi and Kern for sending those gifts. I see you. And all those people who are in there who are spying, welcome. You might learn something, you dunce person, you. Welcome to the live. Tap it up and send a lion if you want to learn. But just remember, wait your turn. Anyway, for those of you on Reggae Global Radio, I hope you are entertained. Walking in Divine Purpose is telling me that I'm to remind you about the GoFundMe, the tablet drive, which is a very successful initiative, is continuing. The children of Portland Eastern are demanding tablets from me. which I believe is their right. So I am constrained to say I must beg for tablets. So please feel free to donate to the GoFundMe so that we can continue providing tablets for the children of Portland Eastern. And for those of you who are not from Portland Eastern that are calling and trying to scam me to give your children tablets, wait, because my sister in St. Anne, Danishka Williams, have started to distribute tablets, and I encourage all MPs, You know what? Let me be big and let you know. This is a non-political initiative. It's so non-political that I invite the member of parliament to donate 1,000 tablets to Portland Eastern. Take it out of your pocket, man. You have whole heap of money. Yeah, just do that. Member of Parliament, Portland Eastern. Make up with the member of Parliament from Portland Western and issue some tablets. Make the quota. It's non-political. Every child. So don't, and here are the instructions if you can follow them. Don't ask the parents if them is PNP or JLP. Do not do that. That's disrespectful. Just provide the tablets and make sure the youths them have technology so that they can be better than you. All right, moving on. So you're 39. What's 39? Walking in divine. What's 39? Yeah. So we're going into the second hour. And see, Mamumba says she live a Folly Road and want a tablet for fear picking them. The people them want the tablets, you know, them, them soon make me have a bad out. Anyway, yeah, so we going back to say this. This conversation certainly is about educating voters and the diaspora and persons who understand about being in an election year. For instance, tomorrow, officially the campaigning season is alive and well. It means that persons who want to donate to the charity will have to declare and donate to the campaign will have to declare and all kind of stuff. The restrictions and everything, all of that come in, which is a very good thing. So unfortunately, my friends and family in Portland, effective tomorrow, I am constrained to say I cannot take up money and give it to you because of the campaigning season beginning. It would be construed as vote buying, and the People's National Party, and I can speak for the People's National Party, don't buy votes. Michael Manley says, don't sell your vote. You cannot be bought. Vote for your life. And for the people of Portland Eastern, time come to come home. Come back to this side. The tricking and the dancing and the whining and the gallivanting and the Duppy story done. Yes? The trick to give you what you should have gotten 5 years ago. Done. Road and water that was supposed to be given to you 5 years now. Don't be tricked by that. That is not how it works. Improve your individual lives. Improve your community. Ensure that your brothers and sisters are not disenfranchised. So let's talk about that. Blue Lagoon, unresolved issues. Who own the security company? Who is paying the security guards to prevent vehicular access to the parish council road that leads to the Blue Lagoon? Who is regulating and restricting activities at the Blue Lagoon? That's one. Let's talk about the other beaches that are being removed from access to the people. Any beach that is denied access and the people are disenfranchised and deprived of the opportunity to make money in a parish where the economy is dead. Dead because tourism was moved from Portland to Ochi to St. Anne. Dead because the banana industry. I said, can someone be sued for vote buying? You think I just sue a lock them forget lock up? Must say, hey, I thought I told you that something is coming. Watch this election. Go out there and buy out vote and see. I promise you. You will sound like Jack Ure. Behind these prison walls, when I was buying vote, as I walk in East Portland, I never know they would have catch me and lock me up. Yeah, they can't protect you. Come to Portland and feel all right. Buy votes in Portland Eastern and see what reach you. All that umpy scumpy business, done. That is a promise. So when you vote, you're voting with integrity. You're voting to change your life. You're voting so they can't trick you and go on like them better than you and don't talk to you. They don't send people to your night in them shirt. Instead, they show up like I do. Yeah? Be a part and be respectful. Be mindful. Be very demure. Be very truthful. I'm telling you, that is what we want for Jamaica. So, fret not thyself, because that Duppy story mash up. Yeah? All right. Somebody say, Andrew, please buy vote. Oh, God. Yeah. And that is it. So we are now in the digital age. So I implore all people, take out your phone and use all of the iPhones and the Samsung them with a very strong camera and get a clear picture and a shot of them, because enough of them are going to go to prison this time. Yeah, this time. Enough dub plates out there for all of the prison stuff. Yeah. Let's talk about it. So somebody's asking that. That's why I'm inviting person. Somebody says, Mr. Isaac, would you have food for the children in schools and the needy? I'm going to tell you something. It is a policy that proper food is to be provided for the children. If you believe that children are the future, then of course you're going to have to feed them. And of course, there has to be a revisit of what the PAT program look like and how you get on it. It's very unfortunate that people have to decide that you don't have flushing toilet before you can be on PAT, especially in a country. See, Whippy says PNP so hungry that them sell them vote for 2,000 or less. And you see, they said PNP sell the vote because somebody is buying it. You see that? And so, anyway, what I will say is that type of disrespect, because they're in Jamaica, you know, politicians are your servants. I don't see nobody, no radio station. I don't see nobody going out there saying politicians are your servants. So when people talking about you're poor and you're this, I bet you're rich because of your vote. I bet you for the political season, all of them things say you're smarty. Yeah? So you see that same energy? Keep it up right through. Yeah? Respect people when they come to talk to you and tell you what their problems are, and empower them to become independent so that we can have self-sufficiency and self-reliance. Yeah? So that is the conversations that should be having. No Duppy story. Donna said my phone I got lock off. Me have to go run. Somebody donate a phone to Donna. Our phone are overheat and it I got lock off. Anyway, let me stop. Yeah. So I just want it to be clear that on Sunday there will be a public forum, and we are bringing the heat. And here's the heat that that we have to ensure we bring. All right. We must be able to have the conversations of how we intertwine and interlock the different ministries to ensure. No, we're not removing. Today is the day we're not going to remove anybody. What I've learned is I am promoting freedom of expression. I am allowing persons to ventilate the frustration and the poverty that they are feeling under their chosen government as it is right now. Please, me a tapping night a come. Yeah, me not block nobody. Say, feel free to say anything you want because me not talk Duppy story. So I talk the truth, so they come and speak. Please, moderators, don't block anybody. Allow them to display their inept, yes, miscreant behavior. Allow them to say anything they want to say. Nobody will be blocked. Use this as a space because whenever you get to express yourself, even with the mistyping and misspelling and clear that you drop out of school, you won't take up a gun and kill nobody. So get it all out right here. So let it all out. Let it all out. Do what you need to do. And yes, this weekend's forum will be streamed by BOJ TV and their YouTube channel. So you will be able to watch it. People of Portland, come in your numbers so you can ask the questions that are necessary. I'm interested to ensure that okay, so yeah, I see what's going on here. Yeah. So you can ask questions in relation to your respective organizations and field and economic viability. For instance, the farmers should come out, rather should be there. We invite everybody, so the answers, even Farm Up Jamaica, I expect them to send a representative and speak on behalf of the farmers, and the farmers themselves should come ask questions. Why will the banana industry be revived? Is it possible for the wharf to be revived? What are we doing to restore the economy? What do the people of Portland want to see? Yeah. Will there be more trickery to disenfranchise them so they have to move out of the market? Will they be treated like third-rate citizens and move to the brink of poverty so that they're homeless and walking around the streets of Portland? How do we stop that? How do we prevent that? How do we, as I'm talking to you right now, prevent the migration of criminals into the Portland space so that Portland is now becoming unsafe because persons are hell bent on the change that is inevitable? And again, them said Tom drunk but Tom no fool. The people in Portland are experiencing great hardship by the hands of the current government, where nothing has been offered to them to improve their lives. And selective handout is not how you improve a nation. Labeling some children dunce and sending them to particular school is not how you improve the lives of the people. What is the future? Let us think on that, and let us have the conversations to move forward. You'll get a preview of what my thoughts and ideas are for bringing Portland into the future. That includes the people. You will get that. Yes? And the conversations is to be had. Certainly when I am in Portland, don't tell me somebody is a labor right, and don't tell me this person is a PNP. You're people. It's people first, and people are five cousins removed and everybody related. So we should want to see the best for all of us, our brothers and sisters. We should want that. We want the best for the least among us. And we want the future of the people of Jamaica in its entirety to be so great that when we're having conversations, we can step to a podium and say, what can we do now? We want to get to where road maintenance means that there is a struggle to use the budget to fix things. We want to get to a healthcare system where people actually get services that save lives so that we won't lose so much people to trauma through accidents and then blame the motorists because the roads are widened and the roads are bigger and people are still not knowing how to be courteous on the road and speeding, and then we throw blame all over because everything is connected. And it's so ironic because the murder rate is one thing, but the number one cause of death in Jamaica is stroke and heart attack. Then you have a little diabetes here, and then you have other hypertension, and you know it's unfortunate because we the government boasts one more Duppy story thing about all the people. 42, please and thanks. Walking in divine purpose. Help me out with that. What is that about? All right. Yeah, but thanks. Yeah, 42, thanks. That mean 30, 41, 40, 39, 38. Thanks to you as well, I guess. I'm always left in the dark with these things. Yeah. So we that is the vision, and the vision that we're talking about is a simple truth. So we start the question. This is the question I'm asking: is your life better right now? Because if your life is better, then you have nothing to complain about. Yeah. And so nobody do have to tell you double story because it's the simple truth. Life is good. Yeah. Are the citizens of Jamaica struggling financially, economically? Is the vast majority okay? Is the majority of Jamaicans okay? Is the majority of Jamaicans able to feed themselves 7 days a week without a failing nutrition, without missing the very things that accumulate so that young people find themselves with ulcers and cancers and all of these things, and those persons who drink their lives away, and the realities of the election season is alcohol is allowed to help persons soothe their realities and their pain and their inability to get jobs and their inability to provide for their next generation, right? So one of the things is you have to think about that. So Loxley says vast majority is definitely okay. So I don't know if he's saying the vast majority or you wanted to play on it to say that the majority of persons in Portland Eastern is definitely okay. Because that would be a dopey story. So Loxley, I'm not sure if that was what you meant. And that's why context matters. Because if that is true, then wow, there must be a lot of scammers in Portland because the people I interface with are not okay. And one of the things I'm happy about is that they're honest about not being okay. And if they are okay and telling me that they're not okay, then they telling me dopey story because it's not the simple truth, right? So we have to see where the truth lies. That's it. Where does the truth lies? So when I hear people get up and say, this is Duppy's story. Yeah? Because this week, the Court of Appeal, Jamaica Court of Appeal, sat en banc, and en banc means a 9-panel appellate judges, the appellate judges, 9 of them in panel to decide the issue of mandatory minimum sentences. Was that reported effectively? Or because it's a politically hot year, nobody talks about when real issues are being dealt with because they're too busy trying to deal with they're trying to deal with Duppy story rather than the truth and the significance of that. Legislation put into effect, another Duppy story. Oh, we report Morris to be a parish. We don't care if it breached the Constitution. We always do it and the people want it. That's Duppy story. Because anything done in breach of the Constitution, it hasn't been done. But there is a theory. If you can't win an election, what can you do to upset it? Huh? What can you do? But I'm going to tell you this. Give one more Duppy story. From Jamaica have independence, it has been 2 parties. Just 2 parties. And if Jamaica is 63 this year, the Jamaica Labour Party has been in power for 32 of the 63 years. They have been in power more than the People's National Party. What can go so? If I were a pastor, I'd say, ball out! I don't know what to do it because I just simply need a few more acting classes to ball out and be all excited about a simple truth. A simple truth. You had 32 years of 63 years. So, and it's marching along. So explain to me, as a developing country, why is a simple truth ignored? Explain why the PR is saying that when the polls come out and say one party is winning, everybody's saying seat, government. Now the poll says that the People's National Party is 5% ahead. People say ignore that because Mark's favorability rating is down. But the irony of all of this, again, is it is the government, yes, that has to show how they have wasted 9 years and has not advanced and improved the quality of life of the majority of the Jamaicans. And even going into another election, all they can speak about is infrastructure, patching the very roads that they had already, many of them they're already taken care of. They're now spending money to patch it, which means they never did it properly the first time. Simple truth. And the Prime Minister has the audacity and gall to say that it is the People's National Party that neglected it. That's why we're doing it. And then short statistics. Short statistics. What are the short? Well, from January to February, murder is down. And let's put it this way so that people don't include the ones that the police kill. That's not murder. That's unaliving because it was a gun battle. So let's not add it to the 47 and then add 56. And then when you add those two, you get like 101 or 103. Yeah? My math might be bad. But I'm a lawyer, not a mathematician. But anyway, So let's look at that when you add those numbers. And yes, I see my accountant friend Verona over there dying with laughter because we go through that all the time. But I was looking, and there is this thing, you see, where even after leaving high school, there are persons who cannot figure out whether when you see a plus sign and a multiplication sign, where you must do first. So if you say 1 plus 5 times 3, and then you have 5 plus 3 times 1, and the result is different. Why is it different? Well, that's just maths for you. Anyway, let me leave that one alone. So I don't live in La La Land, nor do I live in Varsland, nor do I live in Oz. All of these fairy tale places where everybody goes off to see the wizard, yeah, and believe in these magical. See there, PMADs, and there's another name for it. Loxley, you know everything. Big up yourself. Yeah. So somebody say, I've never seen someone liking mathematics and language A, maybe B, which is English list. Yeah, that's true. Bodmas and Pedmas. Yeah. See there? Pauline Gale, I don't know it. So we have to go back to the basics, the bare minimum. And we really have to sit down and have these conversations, because the simple truth, is facts that cannot be manipulated. So you can talk around the facts, and you can speak about things and ignore the rest. Like, no matter what happens, the Prime Minister of Jamaica is going into an election without his statutory declaration certified. Accused of having 28 bank accounts, justification for that is not correct. It is well aware that there is an SSL scandal. This is a fact. And bold money is missing. And the only reason why the government is intertwined into that is because we now know, because it's a matter of public interest, that the issue of SSL was on the desk of the Minister of Finance, who resigned and left Jamaica and take another job as far back as 2017. We also know that the Prime Minister had money in SSL and removed it, had the benefit of removing it before the scandal. Yeah? This is a fact. And to conflate issues, it is most unfortunate that the daughter-in-law of the MP candidates of East and West Portland is in possession and ownership of a property that is connected to SSL, whether before or after or whatever the justification is. These are simple truths that has to be given tangent and perspective and context, so as not to muddy the waters. Yeah. So if this were an NCB program, yes, Olivia Pope would have to come in here because it's a scandal. So these are simple truths, and it is the government that must show that they were flawless in the handling of the nation's business, and not make promises that they never fulfill. Like the first 100 days, you would sleep with your windows and doors open. That went out the door. And you certainly cannot do it now. Even if the Minister of Security says, oh, we're killing Jamaicans and the police force is bad, so now you can sleep with your windows and doors open, because if a gunshot fire, it's just going to be, don't worry about it, because we're killing all the bad men. That's not the answer. And that was not the promise. That's not how you fight crime. And I must say, the JCF, members of the police force, don't make nobody kill you, because you're fighting a very, very, very hard battle. But don't make nobody gas you up to go kill people picnic, so that statistics can look good. Tom drunk, but Tom no fool. And we can label and we can use ad hominem and we can disrespect the masses and we can call them violence contributors and we can call them miscreants. We can call them every name in the book. But it's not all the Duppy stories made up. Don't get away from the simple truth. And if it is true that the 300% increase was given to ministers and government officials for the sole purpose of answering, you get what you pay for, then the Jamaican people should look. Are the people in the government qualified? And running off your mouth and looking like a blowfish thereof, or looking like whatever you look like, and chatting and chat, and at the end of the day it's just chat and nothing else. That's PR. That's not the work. 50, thanks. I wonder what the 50 cent mean. So we must be able to look at that. Right? So, because we're dealing with this, the simple truth all across Jamaica. So I'm not addressing the loyalists, not the People's National Party's loyal members, not the Jamaica Labour Party, or they call them shower labor rights people, not the people who are so loyal that they're blinded by the reality. Because I'm here to tell you, do not be blinded by the reality. And here's the by loyalty. Turn up the reality, the simple truth. Your life is difficult because the government has failed you. They themselves had admitted that they excluded you. For the last 9 years, everything done was not for you and you are not included. And all the statistics that's thrown about, you are not included in it. And all the goodie bags that's coming out now is because they forgot to include you. And so they're giving you something. That is the simple truth. So enumeration, let me speak about it right now. What is enumeration? Well, as you're a young voter and you don't have an ID and you never vote before, or you are saying, maybe I want to vote now, but I'm not on the list. You have until March 31st to do that. You must, and them always say, lead by example. So let me start with the people of Portland Eastern. You are not need a PNP or JLP. But one thing I can tell you, JLP will make you suffer. JLP turn off your water, JLP not give you no water. Them have to say, oh, it's a national crisis. I'm going to truck water in Portland Eastern because your MP failed to give you water. Yep, that's what happened. And she have water truck. Yeah? So they have to put an allocation. Same thing with the roads. The roads escaping nearby bushes in Portland Eastern, and they had to label it a national emergency after fixing many of them. Yeah? And some of them fixed and mash up already. That is the simple truth. If you are living in Portland Eastern and you've never voted, it's not too late to enumerate. So here's what you do. When you're passing Smash Road, I know Casa Watch, I know Samantha is there, I know Kern is there, I know Basil is there. Yeah, at a minimum, those people are there. Campaign manager, Ryan Bailey too. Trouble him. Him love go a beach and him don't like to be bothered. But yeah, these are core persons who you can reach out to and say, I want to enumerate. Or call me, 876-832-2205. Call Isaac Buchanan, your MP candidate. He will assist you in getting enumerated. Do it now before March 31st. Get on the list. You don't have to worry about being whether you're PNP or JLP or you're none of them because you're not on the list. Get enumerated. And if you say, especially if you go down there and beg them to change your life because it's government's duty to do that. So you see, if you did one little zinc and them never give to you, yeah, vote them out. You see, if you pick the school fee, you want to pay and them never assist you, vote them out. And them are the member of parliament. So if you do one little chicken and they never give because them say you're not an ID and you're not a labor right, vote them out. Me, I tell you that right now. You see, if you say, I want to go on the workers' travel program and I need a little help, and then the MP never help you, vote them out. And they have three councillors too. All of them for promise your farm work card and never give, vote them out. Me, I tell you that. And come home. So to the persons who don't have a voter's ID, talk to Isaac Buchanan and let me get you enumerated and vote them out. Don't worry about it. It's a simple process. So if you're there at Hector's Rivers, if you're there in the valley, if you're there at Fairy Hill, if you're there at Nonsuch, if you're there way up in a Prospect, anywhere you're there, if you don't have the idea you want it, me will help you get it. Vote them out. Come home. Time come for you come to your senses. Come off of the licky wagon. The vote buying is a no-no. Respect yourself. Respect your integrity. Respect those who respect you. Protect your life. Protect your humanity. And advocate and speak out. Vote because they have disenfranchised your brothers and sisters by taking away their money-making mechanisms out of the Blue Lagoon. Vote them out. Vote them out because the Prospect Beach, the Prospect Fishing Village is under attack by a change in ownership and shorter leases to disenfranchise your brothers and sisters, whether them labor rights or JP, because you are a black man in this country. They will disenfranchise you and make you suffer, so you have to beg. If you are in Portland now and you have to beg for a little water and beg for your road to be fixed, vote them out. They had 9 years to do it and they have failed. Remember, I tell you that. Yeah? Up, you mighty race. Time come for you to come home. That is what enumeration is about. And I am sending that across all of Jamaica. This election is an election that has to do with the future of your human rights. This government has no authority to meddle with the Constitution. They have no capacity to meddle with the Constitution. And I will say this again. Imagine someone who sits on the Constitutional Committee actively participating in disenfranchising the person to access to the Blue Lagoon. If that is a reality in a free and democratic society, is one of the reasons you ought to be very, very, very cautious in allowing an unfit, unqualified government to partake in constitutional reform in bringing Jamaica to a republic. Vote them out. This is going to be an election that decides whether you're included in the future of Jamaica or not. And let me say, this is not Duppy's story. I saw the track. And let me tell you something. If it's one thing about Muma morality, she have a little class. Me I see her, standing there and then they can't touch this. I didn't know all women still have our hip hop moves up. Big up yourself, Babsy. You keep the energy going. I don't know what your secret is, but I actually like the track. So, rubbish that. Simple truth. The track at the National Stadium, it nice, bad. And green is in the Jamaican flag. At no time, unless you're a complete idiot, can you say the track is green, so it's a labor right track. You could have never said done. Not on context matters. So when good things are done, you clap them. Because at least, even if your intentions was to give Duppy's story, you did have to put in little yellow, and you did have to put in the black, and you did have to make it look like the Jamaican flag. So you do the right thing. Yeah? So no matter make nobody put on a makeup and wig and trick you. Vote them out. That is the reality. Yeah? Simple truth. Simple truth. And we don't have to deal with emotions. If it is that you cannot, if you're still in Jamaica and have to go to the shop and buy a squeeze of toothpaste, you better vote out this government. And I ask you, yeah? And if it is that you're in Jamaica and you still have to go to shop and get fry, you better vote them out. Because once again, $5,000 is about $3 a day. $10,000 is $6. $15,000 is $9. And $20,000 to purchase your vote amounts to $12 a day. So you decide if you want to empower your oppressors. If you still have to get up and asking people for assistance to fix your roof, to buy blocks, to build a house because the government don't want to use NHT and give you housing solutions. And let me tell you something, come Sunday, I'm going to talk about housing solutions in Portland Eastern. That includes, energy saving mechanisms. Yeah, that's why I always big up Elon Musk and them and Lockhart and all of these companies, that have the technology to save. Just as how Starlink has released me from shady, spotty internet. Yeah, and I have to say it. The teachers have to go on strike. The doctors have to go on strike. These are professionals who went through the education system where the education is your great divider. You had a young doctor who they said committed suicide because student loans were overwhelming. When you have a prime minister where it was in the paper and said pay a student loan and he never want paid. He never want pay a student loan. He no want give him statutory declaration. He can't get it certified. These are the things. But the young doctor killed himself. This is why we have to bring the heat. Because these are the simple truths and this is the reality. And many persons, I promise you this, I see it, they're going to be so irritated because the truth is like, it hurt them. Yeah? But touch not the Lord's anointed. Tell you that right now. There are people who say, rub him out now. Make him disappear because he's embarrassing us. The truth is the truth and it's not an offense. My father tell me that. Big up yourself, big youth. Yeah? It may be offensive and the truth hurts. But enumerate all across Jamaica. Come home. I mean, I said, time come to enumerate. Time come to surprise these people. The Minister of National Security said right now as we are talking, the People's National Party have 28 seats where them can't get right now. So you know what that means? I can tell you what that means. It means say are just 4 seats according to them that the People's National Party have to secure to be the next government. So when you see them say, oh, make we just rub out Portland, and make we just, not Portland, make we just rub out, let me tell you, Portland rub out already, I'm going to be the next MP. And if what I see going on in the ground, Doreen have it too. So enough more money I have to spend. I'm going to tell you that, but let's talk about Portmore. If you know that the People's National Party have 28 seats per lock, like Coffee say, even though she no longer with RCA, I'm going to put you per lock down. Yeah. Have it locked. Then, obviously, you would see why gerrymandering was important to have to move the electoral lines in Portmore under the guise of parish lines. You see the Duppy story? Because them take enough for idiot. Enumerate and vote them out. And that is what a shift and trend is about. And yes, come and we will talk about housing solutions so people can stop having to fall into fending for themselves. When we're talking about low income housing solutions, every single year, new children graduate. I'm calling them children, right up to them is 23, graduate from high school and from the university with all of the prospects and all of the hopes and all of the dreams to plug into a system. Yeah? A system where it's hard to get a loan. A system where everything is a problem. A system where there are no resources for the common man. A system that is supreme with nepotism as it is right now, and people don't get jobs on merit. That is the system that has to be eradicated. So that is the simple truth. And I'm giving the people in an election year the simple truth. And I want people to understand as they listen that we don't have time for niceties and Duppy story and pretending. And that is why this context matters. It's about Duppy story versus the simple truth. I am just providing to you the simple truth. So you can stay there and sit down and don't make sure, say, a minimum of 70% of the Jamaicans come out and vote. That's how important this election is. So me a call out and ball out from Hector's River to the valley in Fellowship, from Nonsuch, coming right through Prospect, yeah? Fairy Hill, all of on Zion Hill, all of them come out, time come to wake up. And I'll go as far as saying, because I know the PNP base is alive, but for those persons who said they were giving the member of parliament a chance, she has failed you. Come home. Don't be afraid to talk to me. Come home, because I am here for you, and I'm here to ensure that your children can be lawyer like me, doctors. We now stop that. Dream big and ensure that when Christmas come, you can go to Canada and can go to the United States and vacation for Thanksgiving. And not have to worry about flooding and the road and the this. And if you are an investor, if you have a hotel and the road to the hotel don't fix, depriving you of your economic profit, vote them out. Yeah. And every single parish has an ecotourism, environmental tourism, cultural tourism. There are caves in Clarendon and Manchester that alone should be promoted, and people should leave from all over the world just to come look in the cave. There are spaces, the maroon rich culture in Portland Eastern alone is $1 billion industry. Yeah? And so rather than people in positions to find ways to go into the cookie jar, rather than bringing out the importance of what Jamaica is and what our commodity is, the people, tourism, sports, yeah, reggae music, dancehall, all the things that make Jamaica relevant is to be protected and promoted. And once again, I said, this live certainly is the live for you to express yourself and say anything you want about me. I never read it anyway. So don't block anybody. Allow them to talk and run off their mouth and assist them. And shout out to the barrel senders, because I have been ensuring that if you want, just put it in the comments. If you see somebody running off their mouth and you feel like you want to give them some Colgate, just tell them, and we will ensure that they get it. Yeah? So speak the truth. The simple truth, because the truth can set you free. It shall set you free. Don't make nobody tell you no Duppy story. Yeah? That's all. Don't make nobody tell you no Duppy story. Don't make nobody use any PR mechanism to avoid the truth. And again, your MP candidates all across. Yeah, it's candidate for candidate. You know, team up business. If you can't stand on your own and advocate for your people, you should remove yourself. And the people should remove you because you can't talk up. Yeah? So if the people still have a ball out, it means you can't talk up for them. And if you need people to talk up for you, you're inept, you're inaccurate, you're inadequate. I'm checking my phone. Let me check my phone. So people, register to vote. Register to vote. Enumerate, enumerate, enumerate. It's a simple truth. Enumerate in order to participate. If you don't have a ticket, you can't win the lotto. If you don't have an ID and if you don't enumerate, you cannot participate. Because if you don't have an ID but you're on the list, you know you can swear in. But if you enumerate, you can participate. And when them tell you the Duppy story, you can run them and make it burn them. All right? Leaving it at that. Checking my phone. Yes. So people, I want to thank you again so much for for joining Context Matters, and walking in divine purpose has made it clear once again. The tablet drive continues. I'm very passionate about ensuring that the children of Portland receive a tablet. Yes, it is an ambitious project, and the diaspora has assisted me. Jamaicans have assisted me. The people of Portland have assisted. There are many persons across the board. Shout out to Canada, who are the top viewers from the fundraiser, the tablet drive fundraiser on the 22nd of April. And we appreciate the system, the assistance, and we are not going to give up. We are pressing on and pushing on. Um, this is very, very important to advancing education, advancing the bridging, and advancing the technological divide. So if you can, continue to donate to the GoFundMe, continue to purchase the tablets directly from Geotech as we continue to increase the number of tablets that we give out. People are the children are calling me themselves and say, Mr. Buchanan, Mr. MP, sir, where is my tablet? When can I get it? And some of them say, yes, my mother is a laborite, and she says she not call you, so I'm calling you. I said, little miss, calm down. I'm going to provide your tablet. Just tell me what school you go. Okay? Please don't cost me. And that's what we are doing. So big up yourself. That is what is important. So people, Verona, stop laugh at me. You know, it's the simple truth. And that's it. I have no filter, you know. I speak the truth, and then a lot of people get upset. And then they call me names. Right? But and then somebody like Althea James just said, this big nose is the worst ever. This is Jew my no speak. I don't know if she's talking about me or she's talking about the Prime Minister. I don't even know, because two of we know speak. But anyway, so much respect. Those of you on Reggae Global signing out now. So see you guys next week. Remember, enumerate, watch the forum, bring in the heat Sunday at 4 p.m. on BOJ TV. That's their YouTube channel. And yeah, blessings. See you guys next week. Now, for YouTube again and TikTok, thank you so much for watching. Um, a very exciting show. And Foundation has made a donation, so big up yourself. No, we are not blocking anybody. So I see somebody say I'm to block somebody. We're not blocking anybody. I'm not reading anything negative. I only accentuate the positive and focus on that. There's nothing negative that somebody could say to me, because you ain't gonna break my stride. You're not gonna hold me down. I'm gonna continue moving. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has blessed me, and He has gifted me with context, ability, capacity, aptitude. Yeah, and we won't talk about the physical. This is a radio and TV and all of these things, and we have all kind of people watching. But I have no shortcomings. Let's just put it that way. So say what you want, because they not like us. They not like us. And all of you people over there that like A minor, that's your favorite chord. Yeah, leave me out of that. Yeah. Anyway, blessings. So that was the show. Hold on. Yes, and listen, before I go, I want to take this opportunity right now to recognize and acknowledge, yes, Melmoth Johnson on his 82nd birthday. He's older than Jamaica, right? And I appreciate you for always watching the program, whether you watch here and if you miss it, if you miss Context Matters, you watch Andre Stevens show, Melmoth Johnson. I want to big you up. Straight out and none such. So he's a Portlander. Yeah. And I'm bigging him up because 82, we should have a conversation. You should tell me how your knees feel, because when me walk up them hill lane and none such, my knee them are hurt, and I'm 46. You're 82. So you know it goes. So big up yourself. Happy birthday to you. I hope you enjoy the week. I hope you celebrate the whole month. And listen, people of Portland, anywhere you see Melmoth Johnson, show him love. Gift him. Yeah? Provide him with acknowledgement and recognition. Give him his flowers in his lifetime. The Bible said 80 years and 10, and if by reason of strength there be 80 years, and he's at 80 years and 2. Happy birthday to you, Melmoth Johnson. I want you to big up yourself. So yeah, and I know Andre gonna big you up tonight as well. So I just want to make sure that I acknowledge and show you that I appreciate you, Melmoth, for being an avid listener and watching the Context Matters. I want to big you up, I want to find you. I want to big you up. Big up yourself. All right? Blessings from my whole campaign team as well. And big up yourself. Yeah, and see, the comments are telling you happy birthday as well. So the celebration don't stop. Anywhere you see Melmoth Johnson, you know how it go again already. Show him some love. Big up. So everybody, again, enumerate in order to participate. Separate the Duppy story from the simple truth. Yeah. And don't ever forget, I'm the son of Jayut. That means I'm a cute. Jayut, man, cute, man. Huh? Anyway, blessings. Big up. That was a dub plate there. I'm out.
It took some time to understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just what it takes to be a man. Now it seems each day you learn something to make a better way. Growing up ain't just a phase, it's reality. And sometimes it's hard to face the world with your head screwed on. But in time you will see, it comes naturally, like the hurt and the pain. It's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You know I heard them say, life much better you live it your own way. But if you need a helping hand, just call on me, I will be your friend. And when it gets hard to face the world with your head screwed on, just tell yourself you can. And that's when you'll understand that the hurt and the pain, it's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You gotta keep on moving on. Don't let no one stand in your way. Gotta keep on pressing on. As we pray for better days, keep it moving. Moving to the next. When they try to bring you down, we gotta take it. Take it to the next level when they come around. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. Just keep your head up, yeah. Just keep your head up, yeah.